Hello, we are here at the Digital Freedom Festival in Riga, Latvia. Two-day event bringing together speakers from a vast array of different industries, ranging from technologies to startups to lifestyle to productivity, work-life balance, everything in between. Today we have the opportunity to talk to some of the speakers from the event, leaders in their industries, so listen on for some more content from them. Hello everyone, we are here at the Digital Freedom Festival sitting down with the DFF speaker, Jessica Jolio, two-time book author, business owner, savvy Bostonian, Jakob at DFF. And Jakob is a speaker. He has hitchhiked around the world.
To America from Vienna.
To the other side of the world, and left a stable job in journalism and is now pursuing a life of passion. We are sitting down here with David from Slovakia, who is from SME, the national news outlet. And David is responsible for 13 of their podcasts that have more than 1 million listeners.
Yeah, we've reached 1 million downloads in October, so we're quite happy about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
As an entrepreneur, as a self-employed author, speaker, how do you structure your day? What is the system in place?
So one of the main keys that I found for myself that works really well is structuring my day or starting my day with a morning routine, and that always includes meditation. So I had times where I got up at 5 a.m. in the morning. I really think that you make or you break your day between 5 and 7 a.m. This saying really applies, I think.
Jessica, you do so much. Can you tell us about how you find time for it all?
Yeah, so I mean, here's the brutal, honest truth is there's not time for it all. I'm one of those super ambitious, like type A kind of people who wants to do everything under the sun. And I'm constantly like beating myself up because I'm like, why am I not making more videos for YouTube? Or why am I not, writing more blog posts? Or why don't I have, 5 more keynote decks made and all these niche talks that I want to give at conferences? So I think the reality of life is there's only so many hours in a day. I'm very focused on just working as productively and efficiently as I can. I've had to accept that I can't do everything under the sun, but I can ruthlessly prioritize, what needs to get done on what day.
Could you tell us what is your one suggested productivity hack to stay on top of it all?
Well, basically not to do yourself everything, but in the end of the day, like delegate things, but you still have to have oversight. We wanted just to start doing like one podcast, a daily news podcast, right? And so we needed someone who will host the podcast. We needed the journalist's time, to come and talk to the host about the story they were covering. We needed someone who will record it, we needed someone who will edit it, and then we needed someone who will distribute it and put it on the platform. So basically a lot of tasks, and we said like, okay, so it's not gonna be one person who's going to do this because we just can't hire a person, we just started it, it's an experiment. What if it goes wrong? In the beginning, what we did was like we divided the tasks so that everyone does a little bit of work, like a little bit of extra work, which in the end of the day amounts to several or few hours of work, but on like that one person who does that like small task, it's not so much more work for them.
But what I try and do is actually tackle the most urgent, we used to, when I worked at TripAdvisor, we'd call it like the big, hairy, audacious goal kind of tasks. We call them BHAGs in the morning. Yeah, so something I started doing when we wrote the first book was really analyzing when I'm the most productive throughout my day. When I have the most energy. For me, it's always a push-pull between, okay, what am I most efficient at that time? And for me, it's not necessarily cut and dry. I know in the mornings, I'm not at my creative best. I more get to my creative best like mid to late in the day. So that's why tackling off those big projects where I chip away at things, that works really well in the morning because I know that I'm doing specific tasks.
And how do you get inspired? What inspires you and what drives your day?
What really inspires me is being in nature, getting out in the real world. I love to call it the real world because everything in a big city is made by us humans. It's not natural, and getting in touch with where we're all coming from, more or less, with smelling fresh air, listening to the birds. That really inspires me.
I recently actually just started tracking my time on the advice of a very wise friend of mine, saying, you know, if you actually want to ruthlessly prioritize your time, you need to know on average how long it takes to do things. And I was like, well, I know this. And then I started tracking my time and I realized I didn't know this. Because you think, like, I'm just going to do this one simple task for a client, this will take me like 30 minutes, and then an hour and a half goes by. And it's really important, you know, as a business owner, if you want to, you need to know, you know, how you're billing your clients, how much time you're using, but then also just for me, as I'm structuring my day, you know, if I'm going to ruthlessly prioritize what do I absolutely need to get done today, that's how I'm actually able to be as efficient as possible.
For our viewers, one way to follow their passion, what would you suggest to do?
Get out there and get to know the world, get to know. So if you don't know what your big passion is yet, pack your backpack, get out there, and don't find excuses not to.
Great, so you heard it here. Pack your bags, get out there, get to know the world. Thank you very much, Jakob, for taking the time, and we'll see you around the conference.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our other videos. You'll find everything you need to know on office productivity. And while you're at it, subscribe. We put out new videos every Thursday.